Good evening, everyone. So we are Team AppSynth, and we are here to present on Project X, a collaborative project management app for Android. So I guess over the years there have been many project management apps. It's like one of the popular collaborative and productive tools available on any app market. But those are mainly focused only on your productivity. It's just your tasks and how you accomplish them. And why we chose this is NUS is a place with many project modules, and there's a heavy weightage given to every project. So there's so much weightage that you can't screw up and expect to get a good grade. And most of these projects are group based, they're not individual based. So you need the collaborative element in the app. And moreover, students are not just taking up like one project, it's multiple projects. So you need to organize your tasks across multiple projects. And we also have the problem of meeting up with our project group mates. Though in this world, it's always possible that you can communicate online, but still meeting is really important to get work done. And we need a good app to schedule your meetings. So collaboration is the key. Knowing what others are doing in my project group and knowing what they're thinking and doing is really important, so that I can get my opinion across in time, so that it can make any difference at all. Now the current situation that we students, the tools that we use are mostly the task managers which are there. But as I said before, they're only for ourselves. We only put in our tasks, we plan our timetable, etc. We don't take into account what my other group mates are doing. For the collaborative element, we use Google Docs. There are a lot of email threads, a lot of SMSs back and forth. So when we started doing this app, we didn't have any such app for collaboration. So we took off with Google Docs at first. So yeah, and as I said before, the collaborative element is really important. So this is a snapshot of the Google Docs we started with. So initially we had our task list at the far left. There was the name of the assignee, the status, the priority, and we could add in comments. The really useful feature of this was you could update everything in real time. If I made a change over here, if I added a task, everybody could see it. Everybody knew what I was working on, and everybody knew if I had started work on some task. But as our project kept on growing, this did not suffice. We had to add comments and more comments, and they just went on being added to the right of the columns and all that. So this didn't work. It was just a tangled big mess. So enter our app. So the three pillars of our app are the project, the task, and our member. All three are linked together, and you can perform basic operations such as adding or removing a project, a task, or a member to any of them. They have sort and search, and each one has its own view. And you can also track your progress within each of this. Like you can track the progress of your project, your task, or your member within the project. So first let's look at the project view. Creation of the project is quite simple. There's a simple interface. You set your basic details, your name, description. You set a due date for the project. You choose a module which is associated with this project. And this helps you select your members from the module roster. Now because of this, you don't have to remember or go around asking your project group mates their metric number, their IDs, etc. All this is pulled from IVLE, so you can directly choose your members from the list based on their name and their metric number. Now members can also be added to our project even if they are not using the app. So if they are not users of the app, we send them an email inviting them. But currently we're using a free server, so it goes into spam. So yeah. So, but that's a feature which is really useful, and if we had money, we could do it better. And so yeah, the importance of this is that I meet someone just today and I'm introduced to him. I add his name as a project group mate, and he logs in later in the evening. He can just log in and he's ready to go. He can see if any tasks has been assigned to him or what projects he's part of. there's no request for permission or anything. So it's just ready to go. Now the project view. So this is one of the 3 major views which is in our app. The project view helps you track the progress of the project. It has a list of all the members with a very high information density. It shows you the progress of each members, like how many tasks are assigned to that member, how many he has completed among them, and the priorities of the tasks. So you can also view the task list within the project. We'll be seeing more during the demo. So the project progress. The progress of the project is calculated based on the progress of each individual task. So it's the cumulative progress based on each individual task. So there are 2 ways we are showing this. One is just a small progress bar which shows an overall progress, and another is a graph which segregates how many tasks are completed or not completed by priority. You will get a better understanding during the demo. So let's move on to the task view. So within a project, the focus is on the task. So the basic functionality to create a task is very simple. Every task is under a project currently, and you have functionality to change the task status, set a priority, or assign the task to a project member. So this assigning a task to a project member is what is really important, we feel, so that this brings in the collaborative element, and we know who is working on what at any time. And the person to whom the task is assigned, he has the ability to change its status, to modify it, etc. There's also basic sort and search functionality. So nesting among tasks is one feature we felt was really important. Any task is always easier to solve if it's broken down into many subtasks. So we wanted to support this functionality, and we support any level of nesting. You can have 4 subtasks, and 4 within that, 4 within that. It's recursive, so we support any level of nesting. The progress is also calculated recursively. If there is, so I'll go more on to how the progress is calculated.
Actually, I'm sorry to interrupt your presentation, but listing all these features and having us remember it might not be the best way to present. Maybe you can get your friend over there to show us as you go along through these things, and then we can, we don't have to remember all these things and take it off.
So I guess I'll back up from here. So this is where you log in first with your NUSNet account.
You want to off the thing first when you enter your password? You want to show us your
so we are logged in, and this is the main dashboard. So you can see the link to the main view, that is the projects over there. There's a button which you can see which shows you the profile, so basic details about who I am, and there's a list of my tasks which is across all your projects, and there's of course the logout button. So first we'll go to the project view. So this is first the list of all the projects that I'm part of. And when you click on any one of them, so you go to the project view. So this is where I told you have the ability to track the progress of the project, and the graph which you see over there, that is where the segregation is by number of tasks completed and the total number of tasks, which are arranged by their priorities. So next comes the member list. So for each member you are able to see their name, the total number of tasks assigned to them, and the number of tasks they have completed. And there's also a progress bar by the side, which helps you have an overview of their status within the project. So from here you can proceed on to the task list. So the task list shows the list of all the tasks which are within the project. You can see the name, the due date, and the progress of each task. And there's also a small arrow which you can see, which is the priority. So creation of a task. So when you create a task, it's automatically pre-filled with the project name. You can choose whether it's a top-level task or it's a nested task. So when you choose a parent task over here, enter basic details like the name, the description, and you can set a priority. You choose a due date for the task, and you can assign it to someone or you can leave it unassigned over here. So on creating, you can go to the task view. So this is where the overview of the task is shown to the user. So you have the name of the task, the progress bar over there, whether it's assigned or not. So suppose you were the assignee, you would be able to change its status to in progress or complete, etc. So here the assignee is someone else, so you can't change the status. So there you can see the priority. And below you see it shows the list of subtasks. So later I'll show you one which has subtasks. So you can see 4 buttons over here at the bottom. So if you press one of them, the left one, the arrow, it takes you to its parent task. So in this case, as we saw before, this was the parent task. So if you click on that again, it takes you to the project because this was a top level task. So within the task view, you can also you can set a reminder for the task, because we are all forgetful people. So this was, the reminder has been set, and as you can see, this was due today. So we got a notification over there. And we can also create another subtask from this view itself, because the user might want to create a task from here. So there's functionality for that. So it pre-populates with the parent task already because you came from that view, and it's the same basic information which you need to enter. So coming back to the project view, the progress of each project, as I said, is calculated based on its subtasks. And for each subtask, it's calculated based on how many are there below it. So if it's a bottommost task, then it has either only 0 or 1. It's completed or it's not completed. So that's the way we handle the progress as of now. So if you click on a member in a progress in the project, so you can see the number of tasks which are assigned to him, or how much he has completed, his progress, and his individual task list is shown out here. So if the user wants to check on how a particular member is doing within the project, then he can have a good look from here. And if you want to straight away see that this guy is not doing much work and assign a task over here, there's a button right there. So you can assign a task, and you just need to choose the name of the task from there. Currently there are no tasks. Yeah,
How long have you guys been building this?
Sorry?
How long have you been working on this?
We were actually we are doing an internship, so during the summer, so we had only the weekends, about 6 weekends, I guess.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. Are you,
There were 4 of us.
and drugs are very illegal in Singapore.
But yeah, there's always Red Bull, so.
Wow, okay.
So moving on, we also have the meeting scheduler, because you need to meet at some time. So, yeah. Oh yeah. So another thing before I go to the meeting scheduler, we have the we can slide. To view the activity feed as well as the comments. So this is the activity feed of the project. So if you haven't checked out your app for quite some time, this will give you what has happened, which task has been created, what has been assigned to whom, etc. So there's also the comments tab. So this kind of solves the problem which we had in Google Docs. So if I want to comment on this particular project, so I can make a comment over here. Just create a comment. So free server, a bit slow. As you see, the comment has been posted there, so anyone can come and look there. So it's the same for the task view also. We have a comment box, so you can comment on any individual task. So you'll know it pertains to the task. You don't need to send lengthy SMSs like, did you finish this task or did you finish that one? You always know the context. So coming back to the project view, you can schedule a meeting with your group mates from here. Click on the calendar. So it will retrieve your project members. So as you can see, these are the members in the project. You can schedule a new meeting with them. So this is based on the Google calendars of your project group mates. But for this to work, yeah, one more thing, just a second. So for this to work, they need to have signed in to the app so that we can get their Gmail address and we can hook up with their Google calendars. So without them using the app, actually, we don't have the functionality to schedule a meeting. So, and to be more accurate, we also give the option for them to sync their iValley calendar with their Google calendars. So if you choose yes, your iValley calendar is also synced.
So that pulls in like their course schedules and
Yes.
things like that, and
Yes.
sort of considers that for the meeting schedule?
Yep. So now you click the Find Meetings. So it shows you, currently it shows only half-an-hour slots over the week, but with more work this could be expanded. So you can create an event and enter a name for the meeting. So click save and a calendar event is created in your Google Calendar. So
you just created a meeting invite and it invited those people and
yep,
added
and
it to your Google Calendar and put a reminder and all that kind of stuff.
it's the same process which Google follows. That's
Yeah.
it. So we also have push notifications in our app. So, but these aren't. There are notifications for everything. It's just what pertains to you. So if a project you're in, the name has changed or its details have been changed, you get a notification. If someone comments on your task, you get a notification. Or if a task is assigned to you, you get a notification. And if a meeting is scheduled with you, you get a notification. So these are the only scenarios where you are notified, not in any other case. So how we could improve on this is, as we showed before, the My Task list. So this is all your tasks across all your projects. So this is something which you will frequently operate on. You will be changing its status. Yeah, mostly that's what we'll do. We'll change its status. So we don't need network connectivity for doing this. So what we could do, we could store it offline and sync it back up once we are on the network. So this could be one of the improvements. Another thing we could do is, with the meeting scheduler, we could add a polling option. Because all of us have classes, but sometimes, let's face it, some of us do bunk classes. Some of them are not. We consider we could skip this for a more important deadline which is coming up. So relying on only Google Calendar or our own algorithms to find the free busy times to schedule a meeting is kind of redundant nowadays. So I think we should also have a polling option so that the user could choose the best available time for him. And another thing is we could create open projects. So we could show that as another list in the dashboard itself, which anyone could join and request to join. So these are the improvements which we foresee could help. Yep, that's it.
So a quick comment. I like that you've got a slightly different UI that's the Blackboard style, but I think there are some elements there that you might need to just slightly improve on. The readability, in some places it's not obvious that you can scroll, and with the charts it's a nice chart, but if you can somehow integrate it a little bit more so you don't have to click on it to see everything marked nicely, I think that those are some things that you might be able to work on.
Okay.
That usually comes with developing your own UI elements. It's all these little tweaks.
So, just to play devil's advocate a bit, why would I use your project management software over the likes of Basecamp and Asana and Productive and these other big name?
Well, one thing is we are in NUS. They don't know the metric numbers of my friends. I might not even be friends with them, but everyone knows their metric numbers, and our software knows that metric number. So you can easily add them to your app. It avoids the trouble of sending long emails saying, please put in all your phone numbers and your metric numbers over here, and stuff like that. Plus, we also have the module information. So we know which module this project is tied to, and with each module, we know how much importance we give it. So. Yeah. The module also helps.
So you will be able to retrieve all the members' details through the IBLE.
Yeah, so we allow you to choose the module while creating a project, right? So once the module is chosen, we get the class roster for that module.
And the list of class?
List of students.
Yeah, so integrating the scheduler with the IBLE would be good also to know when people are available. That's something that Basecamp couldn't do, for example.
Yeah, definitely.
So currently only available on Android?
Yep, currently only on Android.
So if I do not have your application, will you still be able to add me as a member in your app?
Yes, I would be able to, but you would not be able to. If I assign a task to you, like you're the only one who can change its status, so that would be a problem.
Okay.
But instead of that, we have given control for the creator of the task to also be able to change the status.
Okay.
So because of that, I can just have you as a person in there. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. So I will not. Will I get any email notification or?
Yeah, they'll be in your spam folder.
It will be in your spam folder.
Yeah.
Okay. But you are working on that.
Yep.
Now, so your reporting is interesting, because reporting, unfortunately, is a really big part of managing a project. Project like software like Basecamp, they would like to convince us otherwise, but I would disagree. So I think it's interesting you're taking a simple yet effective approach to reporting, which is good. Have you thought about doing reporting by schedule instead of by number of tasks? Because I think like when I'm working on a project, I'm interested in how am I doing against my schedule, basically. Am I going to be on time or not? Or am I already overdue? And so I like to see reports on like, here's the timeline of the project and here's all the different tasks. And right now we're in the middle and we're sort of on track or not.
So like how many are overdue, things like that.
Yeah, and are we generally sort of tracking to meet the overall schedule? So I think just something to consider, because I think that's good to have for reporting. I like the reports that you have, and I think the approach you're taking is good. I would agree on the fonts. It's hard to read, but I mean overall, honestly, I'm taken aback. I mean, I think this is like really good. You guys have done a fantastic job. I've done stuff like this before where I've judged competitions and I've heard pitches for project management tools, and I usually knock them down pretty hard because you're going up against a pretty full space. I think there's a lot of players in this field. And I'll be honest, when you first said you're building a project management tool, the first thought in my head was like, I'll grade another one. But I tell you, I think you did a good job. I mean, I think you've done a really nice job. Have you made it available yet?
No, not yet. Few bugs to iron out. Yeah.
Okay.
So I should also comment that I'm personally a fan of the Kanban style of project management, where you have cards that advance along a line and you can track the progress, as well as possibly see a report at the end of it, rather than a to-do list with nested things. I think what you've got easily adapts to Kanban as well, just a different report with a line of columns showing where in the project you're along. So that might be something that you can consider. Project management tools that do this style would be like Trello or Pivotal Tracker.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.